Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Geek Out podcast. I am your host, Brogan, and I am here today with...
Alex.
Gavin.
Alex and Gavin. Okay, great. Thanks, guys. It's the three of us today. We're talking geek. We're talking geeky stuff. You better believe we've got some good stuff coming your way. So let's get going.
Sorry, bro. You're just yelling in that microphone.
Am I?
Well, you're hitting red every time.
Let's get Just kidding. Let's get going. First things first, I feel like the big news of the week is going to be the Warcraft 3 Reforged debacle. I don't know if either of you fellows have followed that at all.
I have not. When was this announced?
Oh, looks like Alex has. Oh no, it released.
It released.
Warcraft 3
Wait,
Reforged. It's out.
Oh, cool.
It's out.
Cool.
I didn't realize.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
Like Warcraft 3 is like my jam. Like
Yeah.
that was the game I played the most when I was a kid. Was Warcraft 3. So I have like a special place in my heart for it and everything.
Well, do you know the whole controversy surrounding it right now? Do you know?
I didn't really hear about the controversy. Yeah.
All right.
Where
to begin here? Where to begin? So Warcraft 3 last year at E3, Blizzard. It probably wasn't E3. It was probably BlizzCon.
It was. I think it was BlizzCon. Actually.
They announced that they were going to be releasing Warcraft 3 Reforged, which was just a remastered version of Warcraft 3 from the early 2000s.
Yeah, same as the StarCraft Brood War remaster that they did.
Remastered graphics, remastered cutscenes. You know, the whole kit and caboodle.
Redone, like Battle.net.
Yeah, everything. Like revamped online PvP system, map maker, the whole shebang, the whole kit and caboodle. So, of course, every 1990s kid and their dog was, having a heyday. They're like, oh my gosh, it's coming back. It's going to be the best thing in the world. They released some footage that showed what the game was going to be like, and it was like the most beautiful thing, and people were in tears.
Oh, I did hear about this, actually.
So the game released. They charged people, don't quote me on this 100%, but it was $30 or $40. It was one of the two. I think it was, $40. So they charged people $40 for this game, and it was a pile of trash. It was a pile of trash to the point that they literally had screenshots of the original Warcraft 3 from it was like 2001 or 2002. Go ahead and pull that up. Take a gander.
2002. I'm sorry.
2000. Okay, it was 2002. Okay.
Well, not the Reforged. What are the stars on Google?
Do Warcraft?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
a 1.4.
And look how many.
With
look how many.
1,055
ratings, sitting at a 1.4. People are pissed. Like. Not only does it look like garbage, but these cutscenes, the cutscene that they showed off at the when they showed it off originally, they are significantly worse. See if you can find an image of this side by side of the original, and the Reforged side by side, because it's pretty sad.
Look, I just type in S and it's popping up. So let's go
to images. Characters, sure. Characters are going to look better, but it's the environments that are.
I know they definitely like
a bit of a doozy.
A lot of the heroes and stuff.
Wow.
But
yeah.
Oh my god. I literally thought the Reforged was Warcraft 3 because it came first in this picture. And I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. The Reforged looks way better. Didn't realize they're switched. Holy shit. That's terrible.
It's pretty rough.
I mean, they are different art styles.
I mean, the characters do look a lot better. I'll give them that.
The buildings look pretty cool. Having seen people play the Reforged,
but the environments
changed since they released it.
Wow.
Like, look, it's just
it looks the same, but the release looks like doo-doo.
Yeah, essentially. It just looks like poop. And then to add insult to injury, I don't know if you are familiar at all with the history of Dota.
I'm not. I'm somewhat
defensive against the ancients,
which quite literally defined the MOBA genre.
Yes.
it started this whole MOBA genre, and that's where we got, Dota 2 and League of Legends and all these games coming about. That was actually born from the Warcraft 3 map editor. So Dota was born from the Warcraft 3 map editor.
Really? I had no idea.
That's where it started, and it spawned this whole thing. Anyway, Valve ended up taking over, and they made Dota 2, and it made millions of dollars. And Blizzard was like, well, crap, like that could have been all of our money, but we just let people have free reign of the map editor and stuff. So they decided to make a new policy that now anything that is made with their map editor or game editor or anything 100% belongs to and is a property of Blizzard. So literally nobody can get, I think they credit them in the description or something, but besides that, if there's any money made from it, Blizzard gets 100% of it.
Interesting.
Gavin, what are you doing?
I was just looking through the micro thing.
Are you okay? Are you okay today?
I was just looking through the holes.
You're really easily distracted today.
Just looking through the holes. I'm just distracted. I have to make a D&D campaign today.
Okay. You know what? So anyway, people are really pissed about the whole Warcraft 3 thing. And the fact that you have to pay $40 for this garbage, you saw the reviews.
It's $40?
It's $40.
Wow.
1.4 as of January 31st, 2020.
Yeah, and that definitely has more interesting applications because it's not just Dota, right? The whole auto battler genre,
the whole MOBA genre. Mm-hmm.
Well, no, the auto battlers, which kind of sprung up from some of the MOBAs and stuff. But
that's fair.
That's kind of a different thing, and that also stemmed from the Legion tower defense games. That's were
fair.
Custom games in Warcraft 3. So. And I don't know, the game I used to play is an isometric survival game, and some of those have spread too. I'm not going to claim that's the origin of isometric survival games, but even those sort of things kind of existed on there, so it's not like it's just MOBAs.
One thing that always bugs me about these remastered titles is that they sell them for the full price game.
Mm-hmm.
This was at least $30, but...
What was that?
I said, this one was at least $30, but you can't even buy...
It was $40, wasn't it?
Warcraft, or $40, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not $60.
It's not $60, but
Well, to be fair, I don't think the original Warcraft 3 cost $60. It probably cost $40 back in 2002.
I think I paid $40 for my battle chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the thing that just makes me so crazy, because you're not creating a new game. It's not a new formula. It's nothing new. It's just remastered.
Well, I think here they do have to redo all the textures. I don't think they just updated the textures.
Yeah, but doesn't it have a narrative, a campaign?
It does.
I'm sure they just copied the one from...
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It's
I don't think writing a plot takes nearly as much work as doing graphics for an entire game.
Well, that's true, but let's be honest. One of the more say the remastered Halo or remastered Call of Duty, it depends on the Call of Duty, obviously, but most of the time I'm halfway there for the campaign and halfway there for the multiplayer. Do you guys play the new Modern Warfare campaign?
I have not played it yet.
It is splendid. It's literally probably the best Call of Duty campaign since maybe Modern Warfare 2. I would maybe even argue it's a little bit better. And that's hard to say because
that's a pretty bold claim there.
I'm putting my heart into it, but it's really well done. And you don't get as many epic moments as in those previous Call of Duty campaigns. This one just feels so grounded and real, and it's just so much fun.
I think this whole thing is just a classic case of the company putting money before the fan base. Absolutely.
And Blizzard's been doing that a lot recently.
Yes, they have.
Yeah.
They've been
most
Hearthstone cough.
Most AAA studios have been doing that lately. It's it's money before the fans.
I don't think Blizzard was AAA for the longest time, right?
No, they weren't.
They were
lately.
More personal,
well, and that's the thing is it's kind of the corruption of the
Yeah. They're required by Activision. They are AAA now, I think.
It's pride and greed that is the downfall of any great nation, and once a developer goes AAA, they get a taste for that that fancy lifestyle, and they're like
milk money.
The nice China money.
I'm digging them.
But
6 digits.
Blizzard,
7 digits of money.
We've pooped on EA plenty, especially in our own podcasts.
Well, EA deserves it.
But EA is at least kind of taming itself. It's not full-fledging Star Wars Battlefront 2 anymore. You know, they're giving us Star Wars. What was
Force
the
Unleashed?
Force?
No, that's
No, it was what's the name of the game?
The Fallen Jedi.
Fallen Jedi. Or Fallen Jedi. Yeah? Fallen Jedi.
We talked about Fallen Jedi a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and so like that's what we're saying. I was like, EA's been kind of stepping up their game. They're kind of. Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's a way to
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They've taken 200 steps back and 1 step forward. They've got a ways to go.
I'm not saying that they're back to being what they need to be.
It's a step in the right direction.
It is better than Blizzard sprinting as far as they can the other direction.
But literally, like it seems like EA's like way in the background just trying to like come back to where it should be, and then they're just like tagging off Blizzard at this point. Blizzard is like, I'm in, and they're continuing to run farther away from the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the next game company? Do you think Blizzard's going to pull out of it? Because a lot of people like protested EA, myself kind of included, where I just was like, yeah, I'm not gonna buy Battlefront 2.
I mean, I'm protesting Blizzard right now, and I'm a huge Blizzard fanboy. Like, I love Blizzard games, and I will not buy anything by them.
Yeah, because I know a ton of people after the Hong Kong incident stopped playing Blizzard. Yeah, exactly. And so if they keep doing shit like this, like, do you really think that they're gonna...
That does remind me of another point of this whole situation that I had forgot to mention, which is people were so mad that they were, like, literally by the hundreds requesting refunds for this game, and Blizzard was just denying all of them. They were like, nope, no refunds, nope.
Like,
across the board, no refunds.
You bought it.
Yep, you bought it. You paid.
They're not Steam.
No money, no refunds. I'm Mr. Krabs. No refunds.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. Blizzard's in a bad spot. Yeah.
Because even recently I've been playing Warcraft 3 custom games. I've been like, yeah, it's gonna be revived, but
I challenge you.
It's not looking like it.
I challenge you to go online and find one positive review.
Oh, there was one on there.
There's always
there was one that was like, this is the best game
unironic positive
those
review.
Chinese commenters who are paid to post, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's not from like IGN or Kotaku or something.
It's straight up. Honestly, it was probably like
has more humor
one of the
than
producers.
Any
One of the producers of the game. It's probably one of the producers of the game. Like, it's not as bad as everyone else says it is. I like it, especially this one scene that I maybe have designed.
And they probably played like 20 minutes of it.
Yeah. It's not great.
This makes me sad. I'm not glad to hear this news.
Because I was never like super big on Blizzard myself, just because like growing up I never really had it. I played some World of Warcraft, but that was maybe like max it. But like I know people that like I'm friends with that just like praise Blizzard. Like worship Blizzard, and then they're just pooping on him, and it's just weird because I look over at my friends that like praise Blizzard, and they're just like, I'm watching them get like just completely pooed on, but yet they still like praise Blizzard. They're like, it's not as bad as people say it is. I'm like, are you sure? Like, are you doing okay?
And they had to re-release the original World of Warcraft because WoW got so bad.
Really?
I still have friends that played the new one, but yeah, they did like the classic.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what is actually surprising to me?
Do tell. Tell me.
Overwatch. The second game. You guys heard about this,
Overwatch
right?
2, yeah.
Overwatch 2.
I was so mad when they announced that.
I know. So I dislike Overwatch a ton. I hate the community. I don't like it.
It is a very toxic community.
Well, it's
all competitive online games are very toxic.
I don't know. So Titanfall 2 had a fantastic community.
League won't even let you talk to your opponents, and it has one of, if not the most toxic community.
League, you cannot even try playing a character you've never played before because they will shit on you till there is no tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
like,
it's merciless.
I remember, I mean, this was years ago. This was in like even the early days of League of Legends. I remember playing, what was his Mordekaiser?
That's a guy.
Mordekaiser? Yeah, it was Mordekaiser. It was Mordekaiser. Sorry
like
for all those out there that are like, oh my gosh, he doesn't know all the League characters. I'm not a huge League of Legends player. I remember playing Mordekaiser for the very first time. Like, I had never touched him before. And it was just in like a basic match, and everybody was just like shitting all over me. This guy sucks. Like, have you ever played League of Legends before? Like, you should kill yourself. I'm like, wow.
The funny thing is that definitely originated with Dota. Because
Probably.
such elitism around like the Dota game. Like me and my friend used to just like download the game online so people wouldn't know we're new, and then we just run down mid repeatedly to troll people because people were just such assholes in Dota. Like they were such elitists. Oh, it was the worst. They wouldn't let you download the dang map to play the game to get good.
Yeah, that's true. But
it was
Overwatch definitely does have a toxic community.
I just really don't like majority of like the game. Like the modes are boring. It's a formula that's not for me.
If
it's
you're
not
playing it with 5 friends, it's honestly pretty fun.
Well, that's the thing is I don't.
Yeah, but who does that? How many people actually do that? Not many.
I do because I got Rainbow and I got my boys on there, right? And so we got a 5-stack there. But the formula for that is so much fun and it's so intense.
It's more strategic for sure. It's not running and gunning.
Overwatch to me just feels like Call of Duty, but just mine. Anyways, I don't want to just talk about Overwatch.
Just
I know. We're not going.
It is more running and gunning than sieges.
We are not going to talk about this.
Yeah, you don't
because I'm not. This is just going to be a pissing match.
He'll burn you at the stake.
And I do not want to fight anyone that's because that's just. I'm just saying it's not for me. I just don't like it. I've tried multiple times. One of my buddies, he's like Diamond or whatever. He's always like, "I'll teach you," and he's tried to teach me. I'm like, "Yeah, this isn't for me." Anyways,
it's more of a MOBA.
Overwatch 2.
Yes.
So yes,
Overwatch 2, Gavin.
Overwatch 2, that was announced a while ago, but like
it honestly was not that long ago. A couple months.
But like that's the thing is like no one's talked about it, and it's like. What the hell are they gonna do? It's terrible news. I was like, you're just basically taking a giant shit on your community.
Well, the worst part is it's also the smallest player base that it affects because it's not PvP content, from what I understand. It's not new PvP
seriously?
content. It's just PvE stuff and like story stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
interesting.
Because they don't want to be like affecting the PvE. At least maybe it's changed. That was originally what I heard. Anyways, was like the PvP stuff is supposed to be kind of standalone. Its own thing, and this is like to add story and.
Well, that would make a little bit more sense. But why Overwatch 2? Why not just?
Well, that's always been their
Overwatch
shit, right?
ODST.
They have Warcraft 3, they have StarCraft 2, they have Diablo 3, right?
Those are like legitimate actual sequels, but with a live service like PvP centric game like that, it's weird. Like. You can just patch or update
because
why
it's basically
would you need
doing something that the first one didn't have at all, which is like a real story, real PvE centricness. Well, the first one was, when it released and people started playing it, right? It was just a framework for PvP. That's it. There was nothing story related at all, and there was you get hints of story here and there.
Yeah, and the ads for new characters.
And then they did the
so my qualm with it is, if it is the same as Overwatch 1 in that it's going to be PvP centered and use the same characters and have the same gameplay format, why make a second game? What's the point? However, if it is going to be PvE and it's going to be very different than the original Overwatch was, why call it Overwatch 2 and confuse everybody? Because I had no idea.
And everything.
Because they want money and they know if they slap Overwatch 2, everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I need.
I don't even think it's money grabby that they're trying to make the title Overwatch 2. I think it was just a dumb idea. And they were because I totally thought it was just going to be another Overwatch, just different maps, same characters.
That was my impression.
That was my impression.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought at first. So I was super upset.
Yeah,
and they haven't really said anything else about it, so we don't really know. Honestly, it was just like a teaser trailer. Nobody really knows. Nobody has any solid details.
Which is pretty par for the course of Blizzard.
Yeah, fair
enough. Overwatch wasn't even originally supposed to be what it was, right? It was supposed to be like a gun-slinging MMO.
I guess that's fair.
They failed so badly at that, they were like, we'll throw together Overwatch, and it was marginally successful.
Marginally.
Yeah, I don't
think it's that big, right?
It's
probably still smaller than StarCraft 2.
We're just at a point in the gaming industry where originality is just so lacking. It's so lacking. People would much rather sell something that they know is going to make money, and rehash the same formula over and over again because, hey, it works and it brings in the bills, than try something unique and new and experimental and risky and challenging, Well,
I almost think the problem is that the people making the games really think that you need to service that bottom group, right? The group that doesn't want to put in work, that doesn't want a deep game, that doesn't want a game with good gameplay, that wants this like nicely polished, smooth, pretty looking rock, right? And like I think most people that play games are looking for something that gives a really satisfying gameplay experience, right? Like I mean like even things like old school RuneScape are getting bigger, right? Because it's got really good gameplay, even though the graphics are terrible. They're like abjectly miserable to look at. But it's got good gameplay, and that's really what people care about, right? It's like actual gameplay.
And that's the thing is it's the casual gamers that, you know, don't care about the little details and that kind of stuff that shell out the money. It's those casual gamers that don't care if it's the same game. It's the casual gamers that don't care if their cosmetics are locked behind loot boxes that are shelling out this money. And so that's what companies are now marketing to, and it's an absolute shame because those of us that want, you know, are more than happy to pay full price for like a flushed out great game. Even if you only get like a solid 20, 25 good hours out of like a really strong narrative game or something, I would happily pay $60 for that before I paid $60 for a Battlefront 2. You know, like I don't know. It's a sad state for the gaming industry right now. A truly sad state. But that's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, what do we need to fix it? Like some indie companies to really start like making some money.
Well, I think we're already we're already kind of in the middle of it right now. You know, people are finally realizing what these companies are trying to do, and that core gaming community is just not having it anymore. The giants, the titans, EA, Blizzard, Bethesda, even Activision, they're hurting. I mean, they're not struggling for cash by any means, but like they're feeling it. Like they're definitely feeling the blowback, and I don't think those cash whales, those cash cows are going to be able to save them if their core player base just isn't playing anymore. So
yeah,
I think we're well on our way. It's going to be an interesting decade for gaming. It's going to be an interesting decade.
Yeah, and like that's why I was so happy with Modern Warfare, because for me, the most previous installments of the Call of Duty franchise
it's getting so stale.
Were getting not only stale, but they were just so horrendous. Like the campaigns, or like I said, I usually enjoy the Call of Duty campaigns because that's what I grew up with. Was playing, like, you know,
oh yeah, they were the best.
Russian.
I didn't even care about PvP. Honestly, I loved the campaigns.
Yeah, and so like I remember Black Ops 2, the first mission, you like get your arms ripped off by a robot, and I was thinking to myself, I was like, this is what Call of Duty's become.
Mm-hmm.
But then Modern Warfare came out, and like I said, I'm just going to talk about it because it is a really good campaign.
Well, and I mean, I hate to say it again, but they know what sells.
Well, they
know what sells.
Well, that's the thing, is they had to step up their game. They openly said, like, if this Call of Duty doesn't do well, we might have to stop making Call of Duty.
Oh, I wish that would have happened.
But that's the thing, is Modern Warfare, both the PvP and the campaign, they're splendid. It's if they can keep producing games like this.
No,
I wouldn't mind, but
it's so stagnant. We need to encourage.
I wonder what would happen if they just released a patch for Call of Duty every 2 years instead of releasing a new game.
That might work. All I'm saying is, I'm very happy with it, and they did get rid of the 1v1 mode for the 3v3 mode, which made me upset because I was good enough to get my gamer tag removed. At those 1v1s.
That's right. You did do that.
So did I tell you that? I got reported. I played 1v1 basically all day one day, and then I got my gamer tag removed that same day. So
it was too good. Too many people complained.
I flex so hard. Like on Call of Duty, like it's fine. Like because it's just running and gunning. I don't take it seriously. I have Rainbow for that, right? But Call of Duty is just like pent up aggression that Rainbow Six can't fulfill. I just see some poor kid in a corner camping. I'm like, you're my next target. Like, I'm gonna pull some like Naruto stuff. Like, just pull up behind you and be like, you know, Shindewa. You know,
Omaiwa Shinderu.
Yeah, that's basically. That's what I basically just. I'll just like do everything I can to. I will like look for the gamer tags I'm like, who's really annoying me? I'm like, oh, you're it. I will like literally be like getting shot at by 3 other players. I'm like, where's my target? I will take you out no matter what with a throwing knife, as long as you know it's me and only me.
So Alex, what did you bring for us today?
What did I bring?
What would you like to talk about?
I brought up a pretty big swerve. So I was just browsing. I think it was like Yahoo News or something. You know, my favorite news stream.
4chan News.
Yeah, you gotta browse it in anonymous mode so Google doesn't
Mm-hmm.
install it or
Of
Yahoo
course.
or whatever. But that's what I was doing. And then at the top, it was some garbage that I don't really care about how Facebook lost some shares, blah 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 blah. But it was coming down to good old privacy, and they had broken some like Illinois privacy law or something like that. And I thought that would be a kind of a fun discussion to have. Like, what do you guys think about the fact at this point, right, that our phones are listening in on you any day? You can talk about how much you want a Chevy truck, and you'll see Chevy truck ads popping up within a couple of minutes,
So, my opinion on this, because I've had this discussion with plenty of people, is like, as it is right now, I don't really care. Like, as you notice, my webcam doesn't have like a piece of tape on it or whatever, just because I don't genuinely care. If the government wants to see me looking at like anime information or like the last like manga of Hunter x Hunter, or like me looking up pro strats in Rainbow Six, feel free. I'm not honestly looking up anything super weird. And if like the government or something or like Facebook was looking at me and they were like, oh man, he's a threat, like would I really be able to do anything anyways? But that being said, I don't mind getting ads that are directed towards me and the things I want, because they are things I want. What is frustrating though is when I will be on like Amazon and I'll purchase like, say, a pair of shoes, and then later that day I see the same pair of shoes I just bought being advertised to me. I'm like, how are you not picking up on these? So I'm saying, like, it's fine where it's at. Like, if you're gonna make it directed towards me, just make it good. Like, I don't want this foreplay. I want it. But that's my opinion. I'm pretty okay with it. I genuinely don't care. And if like the government wants me, they can hunt me down regardless. I'll be doing my 9-to-5 job every day, any day, so they can find me there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a slippery slope. As it is, it doesn't really bother me a whole ton. If I'm getting ads for stuff that I'm talking about, yeah, fine, whatever. It's not a big deal. But, I mean, if they start using that personal information for I don't even really know what they would do with it, but like, I don't know. I just don't want somebody like showing up on my doorstep like, well, howdy there. I saw that you're out of toilet paper, and I'm a toilet paper salesman. And, at that point, it's going to be like, oh, all right, we need to dial this back a little bit. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a slippery slope, and I honestly, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
Alex, your thoughts?
Tell
us your thoughts, Alex.
I'm a weird, crazy person. I considered myself an anarchist for a while, which I don't anymore.
Shoot.
But like, I still am always very like hesitant when it comes to any of these sorts of things.
Sure.
Like, the big thing that has always been persuasive to me is like, yeah, the stuff you're doing right now is totally like couth and totally all right according to the government. But what if 20 years from now they decided it wasn't cool and they still had all that saved?
It's true.
Right, like, just because you got some pretty decent people in there now doesn't mean they're not going to punish you for shit you were doing 25 years ago.
Yeah, well, I don't even think they could, because, like, if they say they change the law, like, say it's like marijuana, right? Say, like there's, like, a video of you on Facebook, like, smoking weed when it is legal, right? But then, like, 25 years later, they're like, you know what, actually? Weed's not cool. We're going to make that illegal. I don't think they could. I think you could at least argue in court saying, hey,
I don't know. Have you seen the political climate today? Like, it's pretty messed up.
Everything's messed up. Everything's complicated.
Yeah,
but I think in court you could say, like, dude, I was 25 years ago. Like,
right, but I think the big thing is you might not be getting much of a court appearance in this, like, dystopian future world, right? Like, it might be a lot more akin to China or something, right? And it might be a lot more of your, like, religion or your, like, ethical or what's the word I'm looking for? Like, your like the color of your skin, ethnicity and everything, right? Like those might be the things being targeted. It might not be the anime you're watching.
The anime I'm watching, or the Pro Rainbow Six strats I run.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, so. I get that, but like I said, if they're gonna target you, there's nothing really you can do. If someone wants you like in jail, they can put you.
They'll find a
exactly.
way.
It's so easy to be put in jail, anyways. If like jaywalking, like let's be honest, especially us on campus. Yeah, we've all jaywalked at least once in our lives. I mean, my buddy happened to get hit by the same cop twice for jaywalking on the same street, but he still didn't go to jail. But like, if the cop wanted to, he could easily just be like, "Hey, get in the back of the cruiser. You're coming with me." I don't think there's anything we can really do to counter it unless we want to, put foil on our heads and live in the mountains and, poke at hikers.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of the double-edged sword of technology. We've kind of got to a point where, you really can't do much without technology. Like I can't think of the last time I went a full day and didn't use technology in some way. You know what I mean? Like it's just so hard to do these days. Everything from work to school to communicating with the people close to you is just all done over tech now. So in a way, it's kind of this double-edged sword where it's just kind of one of the repercussions of using that tech every day is something somewhere is storing all of this data, because that it's all data. Every phone call you make, every message you make, it's all data somewhere.
Every step you take.
Every step you take, I'll be watching you. Yeah, that's actually that's quite eerily. That's quite eerily relevant in this scenario.
And the thing too is, like, if you really wanted to protect yourselves from this kind of like lack of privacy, like you'd be giving up so much of like your convenience of life. Like, like if you really wanted to protect yourself, you'd have to get rid of like your cell phone or go back to like a Nokia, which is fine because Nokia is dope as hell. But
I don't know. Have you seen the recent Nokias?
Yeah,
even the more recent Nokias they're coming back. They're jumping back on the bandwagon.
And that's the thing is, like, if you really wanted to protect yourselves, you'd formulate that and not use social media. But like, social media is really convenient. It's how I basically, if I like, for example, when I was trying to reach out to Kendall today, I couldn't reach out to him because he wasn't responding to my text. Shoot him a Slack message, and he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'm away from my phone. I'm on my computer." Or it's like, like there's just so many conveniences with technology, and for me, it outweighs the negatives of my privacy. I mean, plus, like, I was thinking about it, like, I wouldn't want to be in a world without Rainbow Six Siege. Like, let's be honest. You hear that, UB? You got me.
So I mean, there are kind of two aspects to it, right? Because there's the like privacy aspect, but then there's also the other aspect where they're kind of catering things to us, right? They're making advertisements that are particularly targeted and everything. I think that's a whole nother can of worms, right? Like, is it good to kind of be given this personal bubble that you're sort of living in that really isn't exposing you to things you find disagreeable, and right, like things that don't make you click? Right, like,
that's
is
an interesting
there some value in having those?
That is an interesting point. Oh boy, we're getting philosophical now.
Yeah, let's bring out the
we've turned into a philosophy podcast.
But yeah,
I like.
No, it's deep. It's deep.
Yeah, it's certainly deeper than Overwatch 2. But I'm gonna say that like I said, I don't care if I get catered to my needs. I don't mind.
What if you love like getting angry though, right? But you don't realize it. So everything on your post is just making like you angry because that's all you'll click on is stuff that makes you angry, right? So that's all they give you, right? So every time you go on social media, you just get angry, right?
Well, that's the thing. If pickles really piss you off, and you just keep, every time there's a post about pickles, you got to give your 2 cents. Like, that's all you're gonna ever see is pickles, right? You're never gonna know that rhubarb is a thing. And
it's very real, right? Like, a lot of people use social media as a way to vent, as a way to, like, rile the pot and everything, but it does come back at you.
Truth.
I mean, rhubarb could be like your salvation,
Yeah, but
strawberry rhubarb could be like the thing that saves your soul. Like, it could change your life, but all you're ever gonna know is pickles because that's all it ever comes.
I'm not gonna lie though, but I'm also the same guy that doesn't. The only social media I use is Snapchat. So I guess for me,
you just said use Slack.
I mean, next to TikTok,
Slack's
that's probably
Slack
one of the worst.
is basically a messaging app, and I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
But I mean, Discord
Snapchat?
is social media as well, you know?
What is it?
Like Discord's social
Yeah,
media
even
as
Discord.
well.
I don't really use Discord, except for to check if anyone wants to be hosted on our stream.
And Twitch, also social media.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
I dated someone who's a Twitch streamer. Like, it's definitely social media. People get super into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know. It's a slippery slope. And while I do host the Geekwave stream, I will say that when it was growing the most was when I was the most invested into it. I don't have a whole lot of time for it now, like I said, but like when I was going to like the meetings and just talking to other streamers and like co-streaming, like it's a lot of fun, don't get me wrong. And I still tune in sometimes, but damn, it's a slippery slope.
Oh yeah. Suck up your whole life, dude.
But yeah, I wouldn't mind being fed pickles left and right. But that like I said, I'm also the guy that I don't post much. So I don't comment much either.
Maybe we're all the same way. Like I really don't use social media.
I don't
either. So.
I use my Discord and my Slack obviously because that's how we communicate through student media. But
it's
outside of those two, that's about it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, Reddit. I do use Reddit. I'm new to Reddit.
If I'm really mad and I gotta vent some frustration or something, I'll get on Twitter. Because
Twitter's closer to TikTok. Closer to TikTok than Snapchat.
Twitter is just cancer. It is just digital cancer. Like if you're just pissed off and you need to just like rail into somebody, just get on Twitter. Like any post anywhere, you can just like yell at somebody.
Why didn't you just hop on Fortnite? Just yell at some kids on that.
I'd cut off my arm before I played Fortnite again. I played it once and that was enough for me.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's just
anyway.
Some other battle royales.
Wrapping us up for the week here. I would like to talk just briefly about some of the new games that have released this week. It's we're finally at that time of the year where we're there's always kind of a drought after the end of November, early December push. Everybody's shelling out all their games, and then rest of December and pretty much all of January you get nothing because nobody is buying games at that point. But we're finally at the point where games are being released again. So we only really had a couple games that were released. We had
Warcraft 3 Reforged, apparently.
Oh gosh, Warcraft 3 Reforged. Journey to the Savage Planet.
What did you call me?
Have either of you guys heard of that game?
Journey to the Savage
Planet.
Nope.
It's like a boy. I mean, I haven't seen a whole bunch. It reminds me a lot of like No Man's Sky. If No Man's Sky actually had like a narrative that wasn't just. I mean, if No Man's Sky had like a path for you to follow. Jeepers, that was disturbing.
Wasn't it?
Neck pop was gross.
Mike picked that up.
It's very much like a No Man's Sky feeling game. Pull up an image real quick and take a gander. You'll see what I mean.
Okay. And what is this bad boy called? You said it was.
It's called Journey to the Savage Planet.
Savage.
Gavin doesn't know how to spell journey. Womp womp.
All right, Journey. So is it a PlayStation exclusive?
Oh wow, that's. I don't believe so.
Oh no, you're right. It might be PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Okay.
January 28th.
I didn't think it was, but yeah. So it just released a couple days ago.
Okay. Should we just look at the images? What do you want us to do?
Throw up some images. That it got a higher review score than I thought it would. 98%. That's pretty killer.
That looks pretty fun.
It's kind of like Monster Hunter-esque.
I know. I was gonna say it looks monster.
So I guess kind of a No Man's Sky meets Monster Hunter kind of a thing. Ew. I know very little actually about it, but you're just this guy who crash lands on like a weird planet, and you just got all these weird ass creatures, and you harvest their parts and excrement and whatever else.
It's kind of Minecrafty. You gotta like make some stuff.
Maybe.
Get off the planet.
I don't know.
Like Pikmin. It better be like Pikmin. Pikmin is one of the best games of all time. I will fight that to the tooth and nail. I've never once beat Pikmin.
Pikmin. There's no argument there. Pikmin was a great game.
Especially the multiplayer.
It had multiplayer? I do not remember.
It might have
that.
only been Pikmin 2 or something, but it was fun, yeah.
Anyway, the big thing that everybody has really been kind of raving about is the creature design. Apparently, it's really cool.
What I just saw looked kind of scary. Not really.
There's some weird stuff.
Yeah, because
some weird Lovecraftian looking.
No Man's
That's
Sky
kind of a terrible
was
name,
whack.
though, right? Because he's already on the Forsaken Planet or whatever, so he's not really journeying to it.
I mean, I guess like the first cutscene is the journey to the Savage Planet. I don't know.
I don't know. Runs out of gas and he just falls to the planet.
Like, what a journey! And then it's like credits.
That's it. That's the end of the game.
Maybe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks fine. Is it a $60 game?
I think it's a little cheaper. I think it's actually $40. It's not as long. You know, it's not like one of these massive open world games that's going to take you 100 hours to do everything.
Is it open world or is it like?
I don't know. I mean, for the spots that I have seen, it's like partial open world, right? So like, there are areas where you can like go around and explore and like find things, but it's not like open world in the sense that you know, you can totally leave the main story and go do like a side quest for somebody or something. You know, like.
So like Pikmin.
Narratively, it seems fairly linear. And maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to actually play it, but either way, it seems like a pretty good game.
I mean, like graphics wise, it looked fine. I was pretty excited.
It's pretty cool.
To see it
I don't know.
bad.
Who developed the game? I'm interested to see who developed it because it was. I believe it was like an indie studio. It was one of like the first big games that they actually made. Typhoon 505. So they've made. The developer is Typhoon Studios. 505 is the publisher.
Sorry.
Yeah, Typhoon Studios. Have they done anything else that was somewhat big for them?
They're Canadian, so they've probably done some.
That's
stuff.
it. Journey to the Savage Planet was their first major release. So,
interesting.
For a first release, not half bad. Off to a good start. Typhoon Games, best of luck. Hopefully you're better than our AAA studios right now.
Typhoon Indie. I swear I've heard of other games they've made before. But
well, on this
according to Wikipedia, nope. And you know you're getting your best possible information from Wikipedia.
Interesting. The parent organization is Google.
Oh,
it says owned by Alphabet.
Yes.
Because Alphabet's like the company above Google, right?
I had no idea.
Well, that is quite interesting. The studio was founded by former employees of Ubisoft, Electronic Arts, and Warner Brothers. Huh. Oh. Well, there you go. The more you know.
That's interesting. I just can't believe the parent organization's Google.
It's crazy.
Because I'm looking at it on Google.
Yeah. Inception. The other release we had this week.
Go on Google Stadium.
Okay. Don't remind me about Google Stadia. The other release we had this week was Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire.
What's cool about that game is I didn't even hear about Pillars of Eternity Fire 1.
It was actually just called Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah.
And the next one, the second one is called Pillars of Eternity, Deadfire. But it's actually the second one.
Oh, so that's even cooler. I didn't even know about either of those games.
I mean, I know a few people that you guys probably know Talon from
I know Talon.
Geek this week. Talon loved the first one and he talked it up. So I actually looked into it because of Talon, and this was the first game. Did you ever play Baldur's Gate like way back in the day on like PS2 and PC back in like the early 2000s?
Let me see. It rings a wonderful
because
bell.
it is very much.
Will you write it and spell it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty similar to Divinity, right? Baldur's Gate. Divinity at all?
They are similar. I would say that Divinity, or Pillars of Eternity, is even more similar to Baldur's Gate. It is absolutely 100%, I would say, a spiritual successor to games like Baldur's Gate.
Is that what it kind of bills itself as? Like, I could have sworn when I looked up Pillars of Eternity, it's like a spiritual successor.
It pretty much is. I don't know if the developers have ever come out and said, like, we're Baldur's Gate 2.0, but it's the style and the way it plays. It's like a top-down isometric D&D-esque. You kind of build your own party of people and you move them around on this isometric plane, and you can get into combat and pause combat and
Turn-based,
rearrange. Imagine Dragon Age from like a top-down isometric view kind of a thing. But check real quick and see what score Pillars of Eternity got.
From IGN, you got it.
No, just in general, Metacritic or whatever the
more
kids
humor than Pillars of Eternity Gate.
wherever the kids are getting their info these days. 9 out of 10 on Steam. Push Square. I don't even know what that is. They probably aren't.
Google users still gave it 9 out of 10.
That's not bad.
Wow, you can buy it from eBay for $10.
The new one?
Yeah, I guess. eBay.
It's a Russian version.
It's probably Chinese.
It's a McDonald's version.
The McDonald's version. Man, do you remember those days?
Metacritic gave it an 85, so it looks like it's like it's 80 to 90 range. Nothing.
Alan will be happy.
I actually have watched quite a bit of it. People playing it on Twitch and stuff. I wish I could play these games, but poor college student. I ain't got no money to my name.
Who has the time to play a turn-based game anyways?
Yeah,
honestly,
right.
It's why I play Rainbow Six, where the rounds are 45 minutes each. It's
still better than Counter-Strike. I think it was like an hour and a half to play a game.
It's why I play Persona 5, when I've got like 4 straight days of just nothing.
Nothing to do on my hands.
Like 150 hours of
speedrun it.
Of just madness.
Speedrun it.
Speedrun.
I love speedrunning, but it's so hard.
I don't speedrun. I do speedrun on Rainbow. I do want you guys to know, the other day, we were slapping some kids, me and Kendall, right? It was like we had all the boys together, and we're like, let's just finish this up quick. Let's all run out, right? Just run out, spawn rush the enemy team. Do you know how well that went?
Not very.
It went perfect. We got all 5 of them in like 6 seconds. And I felt so bad. Whoa, what is this?
I'm just figured we'd throw out here right at the end a random fact for the listeners here. As while we're on the topic of speedrunning, the current longest speedrun on record is for a game called Baten Kaitos.
I think I heard about this.
Baten Kaitos, 100% speedrun. Currently, it's sitting at 341 hours.
Isn't it because
20
you have
minutes
to wait
and 3 seconds.
like a month before you get a certain item that you need to beat the game or something?
I don't know.
I
just looked it up right now.
YouTube.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing speedrun. That's so funny.
Oh yeah, there's speedrun. If there's a game, speedruns are like
I might hold the record for the fastest speedrun of the KFC dating.
If a game exists, a speedrun.
Even non-games have speedruns. Like sharpening like 6 pencils down to nothing is a speedrun.
That sounds terrible.
And there's a drill-less version and a drill version.
Uh-huh.
It's much better with the drill, from what I understand. It's like 2 minutes with a drill, and it's like 18 hours without a drill. I don't think it's that long, but
there are Minecraft speedruns.
The Minecraft speedruns are pretty entertaining to watch.
I watched the fastest Minecraft speedrun.
It's like a minute and a half.
It was like literally like just like 2 minutes. And
there are speedruns to see how quickly you can get through like the intro of a game and get to the main menu. there are speedruns for everything.
There's an American Dad speedrun that I don't understand, but I think it has to do with watching the theme or something.
There's I don't know.
Weird.
I don't know. Anyway.
Wait, what?
Yeah, but you can. I don't even know what's going on.
You'll have to look it up.
But it's a thing.
You'll have to look it up. Anyway, that's going to do it for this week, guys. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to follow us. Check out all of our content on YouTube, Twitch, our website, thegeekwave.com. We got all kinds of stuff. You're into gaming, we got it. You're into podcasts, obviously, we got it. You into Twitch streams, hey, we got you.
But honestly, if there's anything you want us to talk about or you have something that you want to know our opinions about, let us know in the comments.
Leave
Because
it in the suggestion box.
yeah,
Let us know on YouTube. We got a Twitter. We got a Facebook.
You can send
We
me
got
a
a
letter to my
MySpace.
house.
We got a probably have a TikTok somewhere. I don't know.
Oh, please.
Geek out.